Say, Amos, what is the greatest name in communications?
The Columbia Broadcasting System, Andy.
Well, how do you like that? That's the network we is on.
The Amos and Andy Show, written by Joe Connolly and Bob Mosier, transcribed, and featuring Amanda Randolph, Johnny Lee, Ernestine Wade, Elvia Allman, and Vince Townsend Jr., Lud Gluskin's music, yours truly, Harlow Wilcox, and starring radio's all-time favorites, Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll. Amos and Andy! There's something wonderful about the daily newspaper. There's always something in it to appeal to every member of the family. For instance, the other night, the Kingfish, his wife, and her mother were sitting in the living room when something in the paper tickled the Kingfish's funny bone.
Ha, ha, ha. This is funny. The funniest thing I'd ever seen in the newspaper.
George, what's so funny in the comics tonight?
Well, it ain't the comics, honey. It's right here on the front page. Say here, enraged husband shoots wife and mother-in-law in back room.
Very funny, son-in-law. Very funny.
Well, you ain't heard the good part, Mama. He plugged the wife as she was trying to get out the door. The mother-in-law jumped out the window, and he was a real sportsman. He winged her on the fly. Yeah, must have been quite a turkey shoot he had for himself.
Daughter, did you happen to read about that 45-year-old man whose wife caught him running around with a 22-year-old girl?
Where was that, in the sport page?
I seen that, Mama. It was just terrible, a man that age.
Well, daughter, I ain't surprised. It's just like on the farm. It's always the oldest rooster that you got to chase out of the hen house. And if I was you, daughter, I'd keep an eye on this old broiler here.
Now, you wait a minute. I was a married man. How dare you accuse me of post-nasal activities? I've been married to you for 25 years, Sapphire. I wouldn't look at another woman. I soured up on the whole sex.
Mark my words, Sapphire. Once they get over 40, these old boys is all the same. Look at your father. When he was 62 years old, he got double pneumonia. I had him in the hospital all winter. I even paid for an oxygen tent to keep him going. And what was he doing? He was making a play for the young nurse.
Why, Mama, that was awful.
It certainly was. And all the time he was after that nurse, he was chasing her on my oxygen.
Yeah, well, you ain't got to worry about me. I's the one with the true love and devotion. Sapphire, you ain't never loved no one else in your life but me, and I ain't never loved no one else but you.
That's right, George Stevens. I done put up with you for 25 years, and I ain't never loved nobody but you. Why, I has even worshipped the very ground you walked on, you bum. And George Stevens, if I ever hear that you so much as looked at another woman, I'll really fix you.
And don't forget, I'm going to keep my eye on you, too. And if you take one step out of line, I'll peel that head of yours like a fuzzy peach.
Come on, Mama, let's go in and watch television.
All right, honey.
There goes a delightful pair. You wouldn't think the daughter would be just as sour as the old lady, but I guess it's Mendelssohn's law of heredity. I never heard of a sour pickle growing a sweet wart. Well, at least I got peace and quiet here at the lodge hall. I like that Sapphire and a mama of hers last night suggesting I would ever have anything to do with another woman. Why, as one man who, hello, Mr. Knights of the Sea Lodge Hall.
I'm trying to find someone, and I understand I can reach him there. It's Mr. George Stevens.
Oh, look for George Stevens, huh? Well, I don't know if he's in or not. You from the finance company?
No.
You from the fire department about the busted fire escape?
No.
Oh, the power and light company?
No, I'm not with the Power and Light Company.
Well, as long as you ain't interested in inspecting, collecting, or disconnecting, I is George Stevens.
Oh, George, this is Boo-Boo.
Boo-boo?
Boo-Boo.
I know you was boo-boo, but boo-boo-hoo-boo.
George, honey, you must be fooling. Well, you couldn't have forgotten me, Boo-Boo Winters. Evelyn Winters from back home.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm fooling you. Yeah. How is you, boo-boo?
Oh, George, I know it's been a long, long time, but you couldn't have forgotten me and your sacred promise.
Oh, no, my sacred promise. No, of course, I couldn't have forgotten that. I remember it like it was yesterday, yeah.
Oh, that's better, George. I'm so happy to know you remember your promise after all these years. And I'm coming over and see you just as soon as I can.
Yeah, be glad to see you, Bobo.
Oh, no, honey, Boo-Boo.
Yeah, boo-boo, Bobo. Yeah, I'll be seeing you. So long. That was funny, hearing from good old Boo-Boo. I wish I knowed who in the world she was.
Hi, Kingfish.
Come in, Brother Andy. I want to talk to you. Say, I want to ask you something, Andy. From back home, do the name Boo-Boo mean anything to you?
Boo-Boo? Well, wasn't that the Aberdeen Angus that had the two-headed calf?
No, I don't think so, Andy. I just got a telephone call from her.
Oh, yeah, well, then I guess it ain't the same one.
No.
Boo-Boo.
Mm-hmm.
You sure it wasn't Hobo? You used to know a lot of them.
Oh, this is Boo-Boo Winters, and I can't place her for the life of me, Andy.
Boo-Boo Winters. Say, Kingfish, wasn't she the fat gal in the high school with the homemade braces on her teeth? The one that got the braces hooked onto the drinking fountain?
Hooked on the drinking fountain?
Yeah, don't you remember that, Kingfish? She was clamped on there for a half hour, and they couldn't get the water shut off.
Couldn't, huh?
No, and after they pried her loose, the basketball coach rolled her over a barrel to get the water out of her, and she flooded the gymnasium. The fellas had to play the big game that night in their goulashes.
No, Andy, you was confusing her with Horseface Hensler. Funny, though, that I can't remember Boo-Boo, though. She seemed to remember me so well.
Hey, wait a minute, Kingfish, wait a minute. I just recollect who this Boo-Boo Winters was. Evelyn Winters. Don't you remember? Her papa used to own a cement plant. You used to go with her before you married Sapphire.
Holy mackerel, that's right, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, coming back to me now. Yeah, we went steady for a year. Yeah, that was over 26 years ago.
Yeah.
No wonder I forgot her. Oh, she was a real beauty. I remember the year of the Cement Mixers Convention.
Mm-hmm.
She was voted Miss Ready Mix in 1927. Well, she was a honey, yeah, I remember now.
Oh, yeah. She married some doctor and went out west, didn't she? I remember you was pretty broke up about that. I wonder why she's calling you up, though.
Well, I don't know. I guess her and her husband is in town, want to come over and kind of chit-chat about old times. Funny thing, though, she said something about a sacred promise I made. Wonder what you mean by that.
Oh, probable nothing. It was really something, though, the way you carried on when she married that doctor.
Oh, yeah. Losing Evelyn really hit me hard. I read her after she was married, but she never answered me.
Didn't I?
I was desperate. First, I was going to join the Foreign Legion. Then I was going to South America and spend the rest of my life working in the mines.
You was, huh?
Yeah, but then Sapphire moved into town, and I realized I didn't have to leave the country to suffer. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad I stopped in at your church, Reverend Thompson, and that you can help me.
Well, Miss Winters, I am too. And I think it's a wonderful thing to think after all these years this man would remember you.
Yes, I have his letter right here. The one he wrote right after I was married. Oh, this part is so beautiful. Even though you have spurned me for another, I will never forget you, my darling. And I promises by all that is dear to me that should anything ever happen and you find yourself free, I will be waiting for you forever. That is my sacred promise.
Yes, that's very beautiful.
Well, I've been a widow for these past 2 years, and I know that he's never forgotten his promise, that he's waited all these years. And I've come all the way back here from California to marry my old flame, George Stevens.
Any time is a good time to give a job to a handicapped person. Why? Because handicapped workers are good workers. Nationwide surveys have proved they're steady, reliable, efficient on the job. Employers, get in touch with the local office of your state employment service.
Well, Andy, it's almost 2 o'clock. Evelyn Winters and her husband ought to be here any minute.
Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing Evelyn again, because she was really a knockout, wasn't she?
Yeah, she sure was, Andy. Don't forget she was Miss Ready Mix.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I tell you, Kingfish, Hey, wait a minute. Look out the window there.
Where's this?
See that woman coming across the street?
Mm-hmm.
The one with the umbrella? Look at those knock knees on her. She looked like she's walking single file with herself.
Yeah. Listen to the way them knees is clicking together. She got a castanet waddle on her.
Yeah, man, she could play Hernando's Hideaway without looking at the music.
Say, wait a minute, Andy. Say, Andy.
What?
That is Evelyn Winters.
Wow. So that was Miss Ready Mix. Right now, she looked more like Miss Peeling Plaster.
Andy, after 26 years, who knows? I may look that bad to her. Wait a minute, though. Let me fix my tie here. Oh, me. If I had any hair, I'd brush it.
You know, she's coming up the front steps there. Say, I wonder where her husband is.
Yeah, well, he's probably back at the hotel, Andy. Well, I guess well, here we go, Andy. Come in, come in.
How do you do? I'm looking for... Oh, George! George Stevens, after all these years.
Yeah. How is you, Evelyn?
Oh, George, take me in your arms and whisper terms of endearment into my ears. Take me, Georgie.
Well, now, wait a minute. Hold your horses there, boo-boo. I'm glad to see you, too, but I think this would be more of the handshaking and backslapping type of reunion.
Oh, George.
Incidentally, Evelyn, I wonder if you remember Andy Brown from back home.
Oh, Andy Brown? Why, certainly. Whatever happened to that big slob?
Here I is, right here.
Why, you couldn't be that stupid little, that silly fat, that horrible... Yes, I really think you could be that ugly toad I remember.
Likewise.
George. Oh, George, we have so much to say to each other.
Tell me, Evelyn, how come you didn't bring your husband with you?
Why, George, I'm a widow, and that's why I've come all the way from California for the fulfillment of your sacred promise.
The sacred promise, that. Listen, Evelyn, about the promise.
Oh, George, I have it right here, your letter. Let me read this beautiful paragraph.
My letter, you say.
If you ever find yourself free, I will be waiting for you forever. That is my sacred promise, my heart of hearts.
Uh-oh, Kingfish. I seen this happen to one of them old pictures on television once. Next thing I knowed, Ruth Chatterton was parting Conrad Nagel's hair with a Colt 45.
Now, wait a minute, Boo-Boo. This letter you talking about...
George, at last your sacred promise can come true. You don't have to wait any longer, honey. We'll be married within the week.
Well, now, hold
George,
it there.
I've come thousands of miles, and I know how much this promise means to you.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Evelyn. You see,
Oh, honey, I'm staying at the Lennox Arms. Come and see me this evening. Come to me like Lochinvar with a song on your lips and stardust in your eyes.
I don't know whether I can make it or not. My gout's been bothering me a lot here lately.
Well, Lochinvar, it looks like the gout ain't going to be the only trouble that you was in.
Yeah, you said something there, boy.
Yes, Sapphire. I'm calling from the drugstore. I got everything.
Well, that's fine, Mama. Did you get the string beans and the pot roast?
Yes, daughter. Oh, listen, I better hang up now. There's someone waiting to use the phone, some knock-kneed gal. She's been tapping on the glass here with her umbrella. And if you ask me, daughter, the umbrella got a better shape than she has.
All right, Mama. I'll see you later.
All right, honey, I'll see you. All right, you can use it now.
Oh, thank you. It's an important call. I want to call Reverend Thompson, and excuse me, but you look so familiar.
Yeah?
Say, aren't you Ramona Smith from Marietta, Georgia?
Well, yes. And I used to live there.
Well, don't you remember me? I'm Evelyn Winters. We lived in the White House up on the hill.
Little Evelyn Winters.
well, well, tell me, Mrs. Smith, how are your two daughters, Opalescent and Sapphire?
Oh, child, they both fine. I'm living here in New York with Sapphire, you know. Mm-hmm. I gotta help support that fathead she married. But what in the world is you doing up here, Evelyn? I heard you was living in California.
Well, honey, I was, but I came to New York.
Oh.
I'm, getting remarried.
Oh, a wedding. Oh, how romantic.
Yes, honey. And you don't know how lucky I am I ran into you.
Uh-huh.
I'm staying over at the Lennox Arms, and I don't know a soul up here.
Uh-huh.
Honey,
Huh.
I wonder if Sapphire would do me a favor.
A favor? Why, I'm sure she'd be delighted. What is it?
I wonder if Sapphire would be the maid of honor at my wedding.
Of course she will. Oh, maid of honor. What a happy occasion this is going to be.
Oh, Georgie, isn't this nice? Come on in.
Yeah, Evelyn, the reason that I come up here to your hotel is to tell you something. You see, I've already got...
George, I've got the most wonderful news for you about our marriage.
Well, now, look, Evelyn, about our marriage, after you left back
George,
home...
honey, I has found a maid of honor.
Maid of honor? Well, you see, this gal I met...
Yes, Georgie, she's a girl I knew from back home. Her name is Sapphire.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to say. Her name is Sapphire.
Honey, you know, I run into her mother, Mrs. Smith, on the street today, and Sapphire's going to be the maid of honor at our wedding.
Holy mackerel. As the missionary said when he met the headhunter, I was about to flip my lid.
Oh, that's the door. I'll be right back, George.
Holy smoke. How could I ever let things go this far? As soon as she get back from the front door, I was going to tell her I was going to come right out.
Oh, George, I'm so glad you came up tonight. Look who dropped in. And Mrs. Smith and Sapphire, I want you to meet my fiancé, George Stevens.
George!
Listen, I can explain.
Don't you listen to him, Sapphire. We got the goods on him this time. We got caught the old rooster in the hen house. Let me at him.
I'll fix you, you two-timer!
Look out the way. Oh, man, what a fight we had. What a mess. Sapphire and Mama done locked me out of the house. Evelyn went back to California. Oh, Sapphire never gonna speak to me again.
Yeah, well, the big thing is, Kingfish, how is you ever going to explain to Sapphire that this is all innocent?
Well, I don't know, Andy. I done talked to Calhoun, see if he could work something out for me.
Yeah, well, if that don't work, maybe you and me can...
Well, Algonquin J. Calhoun, I'm glad you come here. Is you been able to work out a solution for me?
Is I worked out a solution. Kingfish, I done worked out the greatest solution you done ever heard. It is one of the most brilliant solutions I done ever had. It is the thing
What's the matter?
how you like that? I worked so hard on the solution, I forgot what the problem is.
Look here, Calhoun.
Yeah.
Listen, it's about Sapphire thinking the Kingfish was going to elope with his old gal friend, Evelyn Winters.
Oh, yeah. I gotta stop wearing them tight hats. They're squeezing my brain into one corner of my head. But I got a grip on the thing now.
Yeah, well, what must I do? What must I do? That's what I want to know.
Kingfish, the thing for you to do is strike back. I'll tell you, find something from Sapphire's past, confront her with it, and then she'll have to forgive you.
Yeah, now there's something. Maybe Sapphire had an old boyfriend or something in the past.
Yeah, now, wait a minute, boys. Look here, Sapphire's got a memory box in the attic. She keeps all of her old momentums in this trunk up there. And she never let me see the thing. But maybe I could go through it and see if I could find something on her.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, Sapphire getting jealous over some old flame that don't mean nothing to you.
Yeah, that's the trouble with women. You never understand them.
Yeah.
Now look at that notorious woman back in ancient Italy, Lucretia Borgia. She was in love with one of the lowly court musicians. He didn't return her love, so one day at one of them big state dinners, she slipped a poison pearl into his drink.
Holy mackerel, a poison pearl.
Yeah. The boy took one sip of the drink, fell on the floor, kicking his legs in the air and screaming. His friends run up to him, and he hollered in Italian, Niente bona, piazza, pasta fazola, buongiorno mio.
Hey, what do that mean?
The martini's all right, but watch out for them crazy olives.
Boy, you sure got a lot of junk up here in this attic, Kingfish.
Yeah, well, now, wait a minute, Andy. Here we is.
Oh, is this the trunk you was looking for right here?
Yeah, this is the trunk, Andy. Open up the lid there. Look at the dust.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Andy, this is the trunk we took on our honeymoon. Many's the time I think of sending her home in it, too.
Yeah, well, there seem to be a lot of old clothes in here, Kingfish. Hey, wait a minute. Is this it? Here's a tin box here in the corner.
Yeah, get the thing out, Andy. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get the thing open. I got a screwdriver here. This ought to do the job. There we are. Now, let me see in here. Got a lot of stuff in here from way back before we was married.
Yes, huh?
Hey, wait a minute, Andy. There's a secret compartment.
Ah.
She's hiding something here. What's this with the pink card and the tassel? Look like a dance card. 4th Annual Fireman's Ball, 1927. From the dance card here, Andy, she seemed to be pretty friendly with a fellow by the name of Rudolph.
Rudolph, huh?
Yeah, according to the card here, her and Rudolph had quite a time. They done waltzed, schottished, mazookaed, and bunny hugged till 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Say, I think you was on the trail or something with this Rudolph fella.
Yeah. I'll get something on Sapphire. She got a lot of stuff here that seems to have something to do with this fella.
Yeah, Kingfish, look at these love letters here in the bottom, all tied with a pink ribbon. And there's all addressed to Sapphire and signed Rudolph, too. Listen to this here.
Yeah, what does it say?
Say here, I thinks of you always, my darling, and I sees your fair face in the sink. Son, there is a message.
Wait a minute. Read that again, Ann.
You'd say, I think of you always, and I sees your fair face in the sink. Son, there is a message.
Let me see that, Andy. You dummy, you didn't punctuate the thing. It says here, I think of you always, my darling, and I sees your fair face. In the sinking sun, there's a message of love.
Well, anyway, if he goes around seeing her face in the sink, they must have been pretty crazy about it.
Wait a minute, Chandler. Look at the dates on these things here. Some of these letters was written after we was married.
No fooling.
Yeah, look at that. It is. They were written after we was married.
Holy mackerel.
And she has accused me of living a lie. And I'm glad this thing is out in the open. Me and that woman, Sapphire, is finished.
Oh, well, now, wait a minute.
No, sir.
Kingfish.
No, sir. We are through. There's been another man in her life from the very beginning. Now I know why Sapphire was smiling on our honeymoon. And all the time I thought it was my joke. So I tell you, Now, wait a minute, Kingfish. You can't be serious about getting a lawyer after Sapphire.
Yeah, Amos is right. Calm down, Kingfish.
No, sir, boys. Them letters from Rudolph was all the evidence I need. It proved that she don't love me. I was getting myself a lawyer and suing her for separation.
Oh, now, Kingfish.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, Kingfish. Breaking up your marriage just caused this old romance from the past.
Yeah.
Sapphire probably forgotten this fella years ago. You is the one that she loves. No, boys. It's Rudolph. She loved for all these years. Yeah, that's why we fought so much.
Oh, come on now, Kingfish.
No, boys, it's true. What a horrible, ungrateful woman. All these years she's been supporting me. She's been doing it with Rudolph on her mind.
Look, George Stevens, don't you dare yell at me.
Well, I ain't started yelling at you yet. You accusing me of being interested in another woman. I knows what you've been up to all these years, you mental two-timer.
Now, wait a minute, son-in-law.
Mama, you butt in here and I'll strangle you with your own transformation.
George, is you crazy? Serving me with a summons and dragging me into court tomorrow? What is you trying to prove?
I got all the proof I need. I's got evidence in my pocket right here that'll show the court what kind of a woman you really is. And when they sees this evidence in court, they'll really know what a two-time I was married to. See you in court, woman.
Well, what in the world is he carrying on like that for? What evidence has he got?
I don't know, Mama. I don't know what's got into him. Talking to me like that shows how much he's changed.
What do you mean, daughter?
Well, Mama, when we first went together, George was so romantic. He was just like that great lover of the silent screen, Valentino. In fact, he was so romantic, he even signed his love letters Rudolph.
This is Harlow Wilcox again, suggesting that you tune in this CBS radio station each evening, Monday through Friday, for the Amos and Andy Music Hall. These new shows are Amos and Andy at their very best, plus interviews with famous guests and lots of good popular music. Your local newspaper will give you the time of these shows. So remember to tune in and enjoy the fun and music and laugh with Amos and Andy.
That's right, folks. Every evening, Monday through Friday on this CBS radio station. Thank you and good night.
See you tomorrow night on the Music Hall.
Be sure to be with us at the same time next Sunday for the Amos and Andy Show, transcribed and directed by Cliff Howell. Now stay tuned for Our Miss Brooks, which follows immediately over most of these same stations.
This is the CBS Radio Network.